Superflat, the world where the only elevation is from the structures within. And I plan to survive in this world and beat the game. Will I be able to do it? Follow me on my journey to find out. First step was to track down a village, which is pretty simple. When I found the village, I decided that this would be the village that I stayed at. So I took down the coordinates and plundered the first chest. Had your average village things, apples, saplings, bread. And then I went to look around the village. I left the iron golem alive because slimes are annoying. I decided it'd be best for me to make a pickaxe, grab some stone, make another pickaxe, and then head off to find new lands, another village, just so then I could grab more materials. Upon finding these new lands, I decided to immediately tear down a house. I grabbed some stone, made an axe, and got wood. I then killed the iron golem and grabbed some books. Heading home now, I decided that I wanted to have an area for trees, or I didn't want it in the middle of the village at least, so I decided to move them all to the outskirts for now. I did manage to finish them in the end, though it was a bit tedious as all the trees were spread out, and also slimes exist, they kind of suck, they're kind of the worst, Sorry, slimes are just very annoying in this world, they just don't leave you alone. Moving on from those annoying mobs, I decided that I wanted all the villagers to be closer to the center, so I took this farm and I moved it over here so the farmers could farm closer to the center. I then put down a few job stations because it's a village and I need villagers to work. And then I decided to head off in one direction. The plan was simple. I just wanted a bunch of loot, so I headed off to a nearby village that had a pillager outpost nearby. I raided its blacksmith, and it didn't really have much, and then I headed a bit too close to the outpost, and I kind of got a bit swarmed. I tried to take them on, but to no avail, so I ran and I hid inside a house with a villager. I immediately ditched that villager because survival of the fittest, and I decided to run away. After my great escape, I decided to keep on running in one direction until I found more villages. And after finding those, I decided to just keep on taking their hay, killing their golems, the usual things you do after finding a town. After that, I found this weird generation that I think is meant to be a mine shaft, then this weird generation of a village house. This world didn't really hold up well. Continuing on my ransacking adventure, I stole job stations, iron flying golems, and some hay bales, until I found this room port. After taking its flint and iron nuggets, I headed home, following the coordinates I had taken down at the beginning of the video. After arriving home, I realized that the city center was a bit cluttered, so I took down some of the stalls and took some of the beds off the stalls and moved them underneath the place where all the cauldrons used to be. I then grabbed a bucket of lava and a bucket of water from my chest and made a tiny cobblestone generator. After cleaning up the last of the stalls, I decided to head to bed for the night, and then I decided that I'd put all my trees in front of my house. Helping out with the economy now, I made a bunch of sticks and sold them to our Fletcher, and then I decided to help this farmer out because he keeps on breaking his crops. I then spent some time whacking away at the cobblestone generator, and then went to clean up some of the trees that had grown outside my house. Sticks were going to be the main thing I traded for ammo, so it'd be nice to have wood so that I could trade at any time I wanted. Then for most of the rest of the day, I kept on using the cobblestone generator, cleaning out some of those annoying slimes, and also just tidying up the village a bit more. I once again left my village in search of one thing, lava, and taking a bit longer than expected, I finally found a room for it. After ransacking its chest, I took the lava that I needed. Then I went to the village next door and ransacked that place as well before heading home. Reaching home once more, I collected a few more cobblestone materials and a bit more wood, so then I could start on a new project. I've been in this world for a long time and still I don't have an iron farm, so I wanted to get started on that. And once I gathered all my materials, I got to work. So let's start that music. As you saw from the previous clips, I did turn my lava to obsidian, so I had to go out and find some more, and it took a lot longer than what you see here. After scavenging the lands for God knows how long, I decided to keep on going and I didn't let it demoralize me. So let's get back into it. After finishing the farm and feeding the villagers some food so then they could start the breeding, I started cleaning up the village. I wanted all the houses gone. When I got bored of cleaning up that other village, I decided to come home and start some trading. I wanted enough emeralds to upgrade all my armors so then I could get some diamond armor. So then began the never-ending process of cutting down a tree, making sticks, trading the sticks, then waiting for another tree to grow, then chopping that tree down and then trading that for emeralds, then waiting for another tree to grow, then chopping that tree down and then trading that for emeralds, until I finally had enough emeralds to buy myself a nice shiny new pair of diamond leggings. They didn't have the best enchants, but they were good enough for now. I went back to the other village to clean up the path towards the iron farm. Then I decided to destroy this farmland here. After spending a while running around the village, filling in any holes that I dug for some reason, I started AFKing at the farm. So after a while of waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting a bit more, and a bit more waiting. Finally, I saw an iron golem spawn. So then I stayed AFK'd up there for a while until I had enough to make a bunch of hoppers. Then I moved my AFK spot inside the laundry house. And then I waited. And waited. I then claimed the rewards of my patience. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was how I survived in a Superflat world for a few hours. I managed to gain access to diamond armor and made myself an iron farm. Doesn't sound like much, but it's a start. And everyone starts somewhere.